Natalia, I am so sorry for that. I do not know what such a thing is happening because it is the first time during all our for this live, and I really appreciate your patience that you have done it. This is a very great pleasure. I ask you the first question, and you provide me with a great response to the first question. Let me go to the second question. Under current pandemic conditions, what specific project is UNWTO launching, leading, that can be awarded as innovation and digital transformation?
Yeah, Mohammed. So basically, as I already said, we launched the first Healing Solutions challenge. That was a challenge focused on bringing the top innovators into our competition or in our challenge, in order to see top solutions from all around the world to recover tourism, to recover in three categories, basically the people, prosperity, and destinations. So the final or the finalists pitched the last week, and of course we are working with them in order to pilot these projects. We have a lot of projects there, like smart occupancy applications. On the other hand, we have digital passports to help to recover security on the airports and on the destinations. New ways of marketing, sorry, in order to promote well the different destinations that we have in around the world. Promoting innovation, it's not only about technology. So of course we are working to develop new products or experiences. For example, rural tourism, more social impact tourism, more community-based tourism. So there's where we are in the UNWTO today.
This is a great point. We've seen that a letter was sent to all governments from UNWTO in order to show them what they can do. The basis of that, there was no mentioning in order to use innovation or digitalization to provide a situation to pass COVID-19. I just want to ask you that, how do you think about the government's responsibility in order to use innovation or digitalization to have a better health for passing COVID-19?
I think that we are all responsible to recover tourism. It's not only a government thing or a private sector thing. I think we all have to work together in order to spread the voice and to help during this new challenge to recover tourism sector. But of course, innovation is crucial, not only technological innovation, but also working to develop new scenarios, to develop new products, a new tourism model that is based, of course, on sustainability, on innovation, on the way we are spreading the voice, on the way we are promoting the different tourism destinations. So, of course, to us inside the UNWTO, number one priority is innovation and digital transformation. But of course, it has to be done in a very responsible and efficient way. So, of course, working with governments that are linear and that, of course, see the technology add value to the efforts, of course, it's easier. As you can see, there are a lot of good cases regarding new technologies. South Korea is one, developing new technologies in order to help during this pandemic. You have as well Germany, Spain, Portugal, France, doing a lot of technological things, because of course we don't only need a vaccine. Of course, a vaccine has a lot of technological and of course of innovation behind, but the vaccine is one part, but the other part is the economic recovery and how you can help the citizens to be safe and to recover their normal life to a new normal that has to be with a lot of responsibility. And of course, technology makes this easier and makes this linear in order to take better decisions, for example, for over tourism or waste management, or how to see how do you spread the medical kits neighborhood by neighborhood. So if you think about it, of course, innovation is on the core when you are trying to solve this issue at all the levels, of course.
Yeah, great. Natalia, since around 1.5 ago, the UNWTO launched a project which was called Healing Solutions. And we've understood that project, how much tough it could be for you in order to manage all that, to work on that. I just want to ask you that, what was the purpose behind Healing Solution? And as you've passed around 1.5 months on that project, those issues, those healing solutions, were the ones that you wanted? Were they useful for the post-COVID-19? I just want to have your idea on the basis of all of those healing solutions that you've received.
Yeah, of course. There are a lot of solutions there. Of course, are generalistic solutions and other type of solutions that are easier to be implemented. So what I feel and what I think is that, of course, doing this exercise, of course, is challenging because you are challenging yourself, working from home, having the team far away from you. On the other side, you need to be aligned with other stakeholders like the World Health Organization. So, of course, developing this only in 2 weeks, because that was a challenge to develop this in a very rapid way. Normally speaking, when we develop the startup competitions, we develop them like the time you need to develop a startup competition is at least 3 months. We did the same in 2 weeks. So of course we were proving ourselves that we, of course, were committed on the matter. And second of all, of course, normally speaking, a startup competition lasts at least 3 months in order to receive good projects. In this case, we got only 3 weeks like 3 weeks deadline in order to bring top solutions from all around the world. The good thing is that, of course, there's where you see collaboration. So, of course, top solutions came from all around the world, from Canada, US, Colombia, Mexico, Portugal, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, African region, Middle East, Korea, Japan, Thailand, Australia. So that's very nice to know because, of course, we are joining efforts with the Global Entrepreneurship Network and to bring together solutions that maybe are not the winners, but here everyone is winner in the way that we are trying to help them to promote either on their countries or on their regions or on the globe. And we can help to use these new technologies and these innovative ideas in order to test them, to pilot them, and then to go straight ahead to scale up and to develop these in different parts of the world.
Great, great. As you sent me an email and you said that this is the last time the internet got well and nothing happened. So if you could tell me sooner, this is the last time the internet will be totally fine now. Okay, thank you. And Natalia, we talk about innovation, we talk about healing solutions, about digitalization. I just want to get into more details about digital transformation. How digital transformation could help tourism activists to surpass the present solutions. Digital transformation, I just want to go into details and after that tell me about the surpassing solutions by digital transformation. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. This world has become in 100% digital during these times. So, of course, to me, it's crucial. Digital transformation is crucial because it's our present. It's not a trend anymore, you know. So when you are talking about digital transformation, there are a lot of new changes. For example, education, the way we were used to be educated has been changed radically because, of course, when you used to develop a MOOC or an executive education blended, it was okay. But here, the kids are starting at home. So it's a very new way of educating people. When you are talking about health, regarding all the challenges of the hospitals, you can attend digitally a doctor. When you are working in tourism, the challenges are the same before we had COVID-19. The thing is that I think those challenges are accelerated today. So when we talk about over-tourism and measuring the capacity of the destinations, when I'm talking about sustainability, when I was talking about more digital skills in order to develop a more technological sector. When I talk about challenges, I talk about added value jobs in the tourism sector before COVID-19. Always people and the countries were complaining about yes, of course, they always say that tourism is one of the strongest sectors regarding employment, but normally speaking, it's on the basis of the pyramid. So nowadays, because of the use of technology, we need to hire, for example, a person that knows about cybersecurity in order to have a board of directors in a safe way. And that's new, for example, for the tourism sector. Or bringing big data analysts or data scientists, or bringing artificial intelligence developers, or when you see, the challenges are the same. The thing is that we are more accelerated in the way digital transformation is here to stay, and it's our new reality. No, it's not a nice to have, as some months ago. It's our reality, it's our present, and of course it's our future, and it's here to stay.
Great. I just want to ask you that when we talk about digital transformation nowadays, something is arriving in Western Europe and North America about smart tourism. How do you think about the smart tourism for post-COVID-19? How could it help to come back to a new normal situation in COVID-19?
It has to be a smart tourism, because of course it cannot be in a different way where you can promote massive tourism. So of course it has to be clever. You have to work with different technologies in order to see the capacity of the airports. We cannot see the way we have to manage the wastes. 50% of the wastes in Spain are created only in 1 month, that is August, that is summer. So we cannot come back to the same mistakes that we used to do in the past. So that's why during these moments is the perfect time to plan what type of tourism do you have, what type of tourism do we need, and of course to be more sustainable on that via.
And as far as I know, most parts of the smart tourism is based on digital transformation, if I'm right. Am I right?
Sorry?
I just want to say that most important parts of smart tourism destinations are based on digital transformation activities. Is it true or not?
Digital transformation helps the tourism sector, but of course it's not moving to lose jobs or something like this. What we feel is that tourism is a technology, and digital transformation is a complement of the tourism sector. So as I already said, it's the way to help others, and it's the way to create a new atmosphere where we can, of course, be leaner, be more efficient, but of course the human touch that we expect in the tourism sector would not be changed easily. So I think, of course, they are a complement.
Great. Natalia, what are the latest innovative ideas for post-COVID-19 situation?
Digital passports, smart occupancy applications, online tracking of the check-in and having online check-in, developing machines where you pass them from one place to the other, and then you are disinfected. For example, that's very important for amusement parks or for the airports or for those type of places where safety, security, and health is crucial. Developing, for example, more big data analytics in order to predict what type of tourist is the one that is expected in your region or destination, and of course to develop a micro-segmented marketing. So as I already said, nothing is new. I think is that they have been accelerating the process of new technologies in order to come here to stay.
But do you think that there's a possibility of applying all those innovative ideas in developing countries, or the destinations who are supposed to be the new destinations for the world, or no? They need a kind of infrastructure which is available in high developed countries, and it takes time for exotic destination or developing countries to adapt themselves to use those innovative ideas.
Yeah. What I feel is that, of course, when you're talking about innovation, as I already said, is crucial, and technology is a driver. So, of course, if you use augmented reality, virtual reality as part of the way you are promoting a destination, that's absolutely spectacular before you go. So having those tools is good. Nonetheless, if the experience that you had in your laptop or in your mobile is quite different as the reality, you have a strong problem, because of course, if it's a worst experience, you would be killed, or you will be burnt in the tourism, or you cannot have people that would like to take another trip, in this case to Iran, you know. So as I already said, you have, when you are talking about tourism, because it's the human touch, you have to be really responsible. Of course, you can use augmented reality, virtual reality, etc. And the most authentic you are, the better, because of course that gives you a lot of confidence of what you're promoting. What you cannot do is to promote a high-tech destination, and when you go there, you don't have even Wi-Fi, because of course that's nothing to do with the reality of the things.
Thank you. When do you think the tourism sector will be starting recovering?
It depends, of course, because the world is really big. So it depends, of course, on the phases and on the different scenarios that we have regarding the different type of tourists and type of nations. No, as you know, Europe was or is on the hotspot. The U.S. as well. So of course, for example, yesterday I saw that Qatar Airways was opening to 53 routes in order to open tourism, and American Airlines is doing something similar, etc. But it would depend, you know, because we have to be aligned. So of course, little by little. No, first is to gain confidence in the local scenario, then on the regional scenario, then on an international scenario, you know. So we are just starting to open borders. So of course, international tourism, I am positive, and I think that by the end of the year it could be open. But for the time being, we have to be focused on giving back confidence and security to the tourists in a local way, and then maybe in 1 month, if everything goes okay, we can open borders, in this case to Schengen, and in Latin America to the Pacific Alliance or Mercosur, and in the Asia Pacific, of course, to those corridors that are basic corridors to promote tourism, and as well in the Middle East, you know. So it depends, of course, on the reality of each nation and on the evolution. What I feel is that, of course, the more affected are the ones that would take more time to open. That is the case of Europe and the US.
Natalia, we know that finally we will go back to the situation which is called normal situation. But I think we are sure that the normal situation after COVID-19 is not the same as the normal situation before COVID-19. It is normal, but it is a huge difference with. So I just want to ask you, Natalia, what is your prediction about tourism after COVID-19?
Okay, so what I feel is that, of course, after COVID-19, there would be a lot of more security, not only in the airports, but also in the ports before boarding, on the different borders that we have. So of course, for example, the airlines would ask more information in order to assure that the passengers are traveling safely. Second of all, when you go to an hotel, of course, they would give you a safety kit They would test you, of course, the temperature. If you have COVID-19, there would be a protocol inside each destination. Of course, if you're planning to do massive tourism, it won't be possible, at least in the short time. So if you want to do the traditional touristic tour, it would be really difficult to have 20 or 50 people all around. I think that, of course, if you are taking into account the distances and everything, of course, you have to be maximum with 20 people. So it would be a difference. And of course, when you're talking about going to the public transportation, masks are a must. It's not a nice to have. Having an antibacterial or alcohol is a must as well. So I think those things, of course, we have to realize that this is a new reality. It's not positive or negative. Basically, it's something new. So we have to be positive, resilient, and of course patient, because this can go ups and downs if there's a second round or a second wave of COVID-19 under our countries.
Thank you. On the basis of the email that I received 5 minutes ago, that you will have a meeting with the Secretary General of UNWTO in 30 minutes. So I should ask my last questions, and after that I will go to audience's questions, because I'm just going to keep the rights in order to answer questions from you. This is my own last questions, Natalia. How do you think the locals will receive tourists and travelers?
No, locals, of course, not after COVID-19. Always locals play a strong role. Imagine if you don't want more tourism, because the tourists that you used to know are the ones that disturb a lot, are the ones that doesn't care about the environment, are the ones that are not spending money on the destinations. So this is the perfect time to include civil society about what type of tourism do they want, what type of experiences do they want to sell. And this is the perfect moment where the destination management organizations has the power to decide if they want to continue in the same direction that they were before COVID-19, or if they want to innovate and to recover tourism, bringing solutions where the impact of the community is lower in the negative things, and of course the impact for the community is higher regarding the income or the employment that is given thanks to tourism.
Great, great. So I just want to go to the audience's questions, because there are a lot of questions in my question box. The first questions come from Jed Brown, the managing director of EMEAN and also the low season traveler. Do you foresee a shift towards less crowded tourism in the low seasons?
I think the seasonality will change, you know, because of course in the high seasons you would have a strong protocol that cannot tell you what to do or what not to do. So to me, this is a crucial time where it doesn't matter if it's low or high, you will have to follow the new rules of the governments and of the international organizations that can help you to develop a new model.
Great. What do you believe have been the best new techniques which have come about as a result of COVID-19?
As I already said, the new technologies were in the past. You know, there are not new technologies. It's the new way of using technology that is different. So, as I already said before, the digital passports, the smart occupancy applications, digital transformation courses to gain new skills in education, and bringing big data at the core of the marketing strategy in order to microsegment the type of visitors that you want to market.
Thank you. I just want to ask the audiences, please, to send their questions in English in order to be shared on the screen. What should exotic destinations do after COVID-19? Can we take it as an opportunity?
Yes, of course, exotic destinations and rural tourism would be on the top, because of course people would not like to be on crowded areas anymore, or at least in the short term. So if you ask me, this is the right time to promote those COVID-free destinations, those islands that are free or that at least has low cases, and of course to promote rural tourism and adventure and nature tourism, because I think that would be crucial in the midterm future.
Another question is that how do you think about what do you think about the possibility of urban tourism after COVID-19? Do you think that would it be something like before COVID-19, or it would collapse?
Of course, urban tourism would stay, because it's really important for the capitals, but it would be developed in a different way. Of course, at least in the short term. Maybe in the midterm they come back to the same, but for at least for these challenging times and for the following months, of course, you would like to follow you would need to follow, the protocols of each city. So of course, distance is important, not too crowded. So if you are doing conferences, events, seminars, of course, the number of visitors or the number of attendees would be crucial, because maybe at first it would be only 50 attendees, then 100, then 300. So I think the cities has the power to decide, depending on the protocols that they will develop to, of course, to empower tourism.
Great. On the basis of the contagious virus, do you think that ecotourism will flourish better than cultural tourism, because we can find people crowded in cultural sites?
I think ecotourism has a lot to win during this situation, because of course, developing hiking, trekking, bird watching, whale watching, to have, for example, mindfulness seminars away, or mindfulness experiences away from the crowded cities. This is crucial because, of course, people, as I already said, people want to travel because everyone wants to travel. The thing is the way we want to travel again, and the way destinations will offer new experiences. So to me, ecotourism has one of the most important points and strengths under COVID-19.
Yeah, this is another one. They ask. Most of the people think about online tourism is the most possible activity of digital transformation. They just want to know that if they're supposed to go into digital transformation, what do they need to learn, Natalia?
Okay, different skills, but at least if you're talking about digital transformation, for example, to do a digital event that has nothing to do a presential event. So to be a professional on digital events, this would be crucial at first. Second of all, of course, to be a marketer, a strong marketing analyst regarding how to use new technologies in order to be more efficient than using the traditional ways of marketing. Third of all, big data analytics. So to be a data scientist in order to develop different dashboards or data lakes that can help you to spread different data and then to analyze, because one thing is to be the data scientist, that is the one that is behind the scenes, but another profession is how to read those data. So to be a big data analyst is crucial as well, because if someone has to program the dashboard, but another person has to read the results of the dashboard. So that's another crucial professional skill. And of course, people that work in AI, VR, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality are crucial in order to include in the social media of your destination or in your website different ways to experience the destinations.
What should we do if there was no vaccine for COVID-19, Natalia? The basis of the innovation and digital transformation. This is another question.
I don't think, of course, the vaccine, if we are positive, it would be in 6 months, if not in 2 or 3 years. So we have to live this new reality regarding the way it's going around. So having the same protocols for everyone and having a strong safety, health, and security protocols would be the way, of course, to sustain not only tourism, to sustain the whole economies or the whole economic sectors that are, of course, affected by this pandemic.
Yeah, and to ask that, how do you do destination management with limited resources? How do you export the image of a destination not already on the map if you have no money for branding or marketing? How could innovation and digital transformation could help us when we are out of money?
That's very easy because, of course, when you are talking about digital, most of the tools are free. So when you go, we are doing this for free. If we do it in a traditional way, you have to look for a place, you have to look for the microphones, you have to look for a lot of things. So you have to be really creative and really efficient. So using social media as a way of promoting is a must. But of course, not only about putting a good photo of the destination, but also adding content. I think storytellers here are crucial, and of course, bringing to alive content, histories, documentals, cooking sessions, religious sessions. It depends, of course, on the way you are trying to promote, but this is the right time to do it. Zoom is free. Instagram is free, Facebook is free, so without money, if you're clever, you can strengthen your voice on social media. And on the other side, you have the strong companies that use to help entrepreneurs or destinations that don't have any budget in order to promote it. That's the case of Google, or the case of Microsoft, or the case of Facebook, that they help the small destinations and the small entrepreneurs to grow with different packages, online packages, in order to promote it. So I feel you have to be really creative, to innovate, to show something different, and of course to add value with content.
Great. Natalia, do you think VR and AR would replace real things?
No, of course not. That helps. For example, when you are working nowadays, that you cannot go outside, of course, from a museum. Of course, the museums are really clever, and they have done VR and augmented reality platforms in order to have a good experience about the museum. But of course, that's like a previous visit. But then when you go and to touch and to experience with your own eyes the art that is behind the museum and all the effort that is there, of course, that's priceless. So as I already said, a lot of times technology is a strong driver, but of course technology is not too won't replace our traditional experiences, because the human touch is crucial for tourism.
So as you've been working through innovation and digital transformation, there's another question from Zap. Well, do you think a tourism industry faces a huge demand of traveling due to mental relaxation after COVID-19?
I don't think it would be like this. Of course, people want to travel, but the thing is that we have different profiles and we have different type of needs. So of course, there would be a huge demand, maybe yes, because we love to travel. The whole human beings love to travel. The thing is that, as I already said, it would be little by little. So the huge demand would be on the local scenario at first, and you have to follow some protocols in order not to overcrowd the destinations. Phase 2 would be regional, so the same. It would be focused on opening the borders to the region, but it can go with a strong evolution or with a strong not evolution, because of course it depends on the way the virus is going to spread on the population. So I think we have to wait and we have to be really prudent. Nonetheless, of course, people are waiting to open the door and to travel, and or at least to be in a park watching the nature, or at least having the similar experiences that they had in the past.
Great. Let me ask my own last questions. Whenever you're supposed to leave the talk, because I know that you've got an urgent meeting with General Secretary of UNWTO, just inform us with a prior notice. Natalia, I know how appreciated your time is. What would you consider would be the balance between local health and safety laws and local tourism recovery?
Okay, because this is the last question. Basically, what I feel is that the economy and the safety and health cannot fight. We are under the same situation. So of course, in the first phase, safety and health was crucial, but you cannot fight with the economic sectors. So in the way you do laws and in the way you do some regulations that are helping the private sector to recover, you cannot, it doesn't matter if you have, imagine that you have a lot of healthy people, but without jobs. Or imagine that you have a lot of unsafe and healthy people, but there's a lot of vacancies in order to collect and to serve in a country. So you have to take a balance. And to me, to recover the private sector and to recover the economy is nowadays priority. Because of course you have to do it with responsibility, but you cannot close the borders for the whole, for your whole life, because that's not feasible. And as you can see, the strongest monsters inside the tourism sector are in bankruptcy, or they are experiencing a very difficult moment. So to me, this is a time where you have to help them, of course, opening, as I already said, little by little with responsibility, and of course with a balance. What is impossible to happen is that the laws are that strict that when you try to open the numbers, of course you don't get them a number, so it's better to be closed. That is, of course, one of the things that I don't agree with. So we have to work, and that's why public-private partnerships are crucial here, in order to listen to the private sector, listen what they need, and then to do a balance between that and, of course, the public sector responsibility about recovering the whole economy.
Thank you so much, Natalia. I really appreciate you to accept my invitation in order to join Tourism Live Talk. That was a great pleasure and honor to have you here. I received another email from Stefania that you are out of time. Heartily appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the answers that you've made. Yeah. And that was a great honor to have you.
Take care. All my best. Yeah. All the luck.
I appreciate all the participants in order to join our live talk. That was a very great pleasure to host Natalia Bayona, the senior expert of UNWTO in leading innovation and digital transformation. We were supposed to talk with each other for about 1 hour and 30 minutes, and we've managed it before, but on the basis of the emails that I've received in the meanwhile of the Tourism Live Talk, another meeting with Secretary General of UNWTO happened and Natalia Bayona. So in that case, we have missed the opportunity to have her more in our live talk. But I should say that I'm so sorry for the misconnection which happened at the beginning of the live talk. We try our best, but sometimes internet causes the issues which is unpredictable in order to mention and ask. We really enjoyed your participants, the questions and the comments, and we are willing to have you for the future live talks that we will have by honor and by pleasure to host you. Thank you very much, everybody. A great pleasure. Have a good time. Bye-bye.